Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kata Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamadam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Srinvatam Svakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Rityandastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam Nastaprayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the person of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyments from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the person of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. अनंत गौड़िया वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु शुभम प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रणाम जय श्रील प्रभुपाद।
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, stand up to worship Prabhupada.
Okay, I will read one verse, then anyone can read. Text number 22. Ayam mahim gam duduhe diraja prajapatir vrittikarah prajanam yo leelayatrin svasarashakotya bindan samam gam akarodhyatendra. I am this king, Mahim the earth, Gang in the form of a cow, Duduhe will milk, Adi Raja, extraordinary king, Prajapati, progenitor of mankind, Vrittikara, providing living facility, Prajanam of the citizens, Yaha, one who, Leelaya, simply by pastimes, Adrin, mountains and hills, Svasharasha, of his bow, Kotya, at a pointed end, Bindan, breaking, Samam, level, Gam, the earth, Akarot will make, Yata, as Indra, the king of heaven, Indra, translation. This king, this protector of the citizens, is an extraordinary king, and he is equal to the Prajapati demigods. For the living facility of all citizens, he will milk the earth, which is like a cow. Not only that, but he will level the surface of the earth with the pointed ends of his bow, breaking all the hills exactly as King Indra. The heavenly king breaks mountains with his powerful thunderbolt.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam to all of you. Jai
Hare
Shri.
Krishna, Shubham Prabhu, Tanda Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Who will be next one?
Prabhu, I'll read after quickly. I'm just finishing up quickly.
Yes, Prabhu. Vishpurjayan ajagavam danusvayam yadacharad avishayamajau tada nililyurdishi santo langulamudyam yayatam mrigendra. Vishpurjayan, vibrating. Ajagavam, made of the horns of goats and bulls. Danu, his bow. Swayam, personally. Yada, when. Acharat, will travel. Kshamam, on the earth. Avishayam, irresistible. Ajao, in battle. Tada, at that time. Nililyu, will hide themselves. Dishi, in all directions. Asanta, demoniac men. Langulam, tail. Udyamya, keeping high. Yatha, as. Brigendra, the lion. Translation. When the lion travels in the forest with its tail turned upward, all menial animals hide themselves. Similarly, when King Prithu will travel over his kingdom and vibrate the string of his bow, which is made of the horns of goats and bulls and is irresistible in battle, all demoniac rogues and thieves will hide themselves in all directions. Purport. It is very appropriate to compare a powerful king like Prithu to a lion. In India, Kshatriya kings are still called Simha, which means lion, unless rogues, thieves, and other demoniac people in a state are afraid of the executive head who rules the kingdom with a strong hand, there cannot be peace or prosperity in the state. Thus, it is most regrettable when a woman becomes the executive head instead of a lion-like king. In such a situation, the people are considered very unfortunate. Text number 24. Esho svamedyan satamajahara sarasvati pradurabhavi yatra ahar shiryasya hayam purandara shatakratushcharam vartamane. Eshaha, the king, Asvamedan, sacrifices, known as Asvameda. Shatam, 100. Ajahara, will perform. Saraswati, the river of the name Saraswati. Pradu Abhavi, become manifest. Yatra, where. Aharshit, will steal. Yasya, whose. Hayam, horse. Purandara, the Lord Indra. Shatakratu, who performed 100 sacrifices. Charame, while the last sacrifice. Vartamane, is occurring. Translation. At the source of the river Saraswati, this king will perform 100 sacrifices known as Ashwamedha. In the course of the last sacrifice, the heavenly king Indra will steal the sacrificial horse. Esasvasadmo pavane sametya sanat kumaram bhagavantamekam arajya bhaktya lapata malam taj jnanam jato brahma param vidanti. Esa, this king Svasatma of his palace, Upavane, in the garden. Sametya, meeting Sanat Kumara, Bhagavantam, the worshipable, Ekam, alone, Aradhya, worshipping, Bhaktya, with devotion, Alabhata, he will achieve, Amalam without contamination, that. Jnanam transcendental knowledge, Yata by which Brahma spirit, Param supreme, transcendental, Vedanti they enjoy, they know. Translation. This King Prithu will meet Sanat Kumara, one of the 4 Kumaras, in the garden of his palace compound. The king will worship him with devotion and will be fortunate to receive instructions by which one can enjoy transcendental bliss. Purport. The word Vedanti refers to one who knows something or enjoys something. When a person is properly instructed by a spiritual master and understands transcendental bliss, he enjoys life. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Sochatina Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. When one attains to the Brahman platform, he neither hankers nor laments. He actually partakes of transcendental blissful enjoyment. Although King Prithu was an incarnation of Vishnu, he nonetheless taught the people in his kingdom to take instructions from a spiritual master who represents the disciplic succession. Thus one can become fortunate and enjoy a blissful life even within this material world. In this verse, the verb Vedanti is sometimes taken to mean understanding. Thus, when a person understands Brahman, or the supreme source of everything, he enjoys a blissful life. Tatra tatra girastasta iti vishruta vikrama shroshyatatma shrita gata pritu pritu parakrama. Word to word. Tatra, 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 here and there. Gira, words. Taha, taha, many. Various. Iti, thus. Vishruta, vikrama, he whose chivalrous activities are widely reputed. Shroshyati, will hear. Atma Shrita, about himself. Gata, songs, narrations. Prithu, King Prithu. Prithu Parakrama, distinctly powerful. Translation. In this way, when the chivalrous activities of King Prithu come to be known to the people in general, King Prithu will always hear about himself and his activities. Purport. To artificially advertise oneself and thus enjoy a so-called reputation is a kind of conceit. Prithu Maharaj was famous amongst the people because of his chivalrous activities. He did not have to advertise himself artificially. One's factual reputation cannot be covered. Okay, who will be in next reader? Hare Krishna, Dheeraj Prabhu and Siddharth Prabhu, Dandar Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Dheeraj Prabhu and Siddharth Prabhu. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandar Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Is there any background sound coming from my side, or is it okay?
It's mostly okay, Prabhu.
Okay. There's some big kirtan going on, so it's,
Yes, Prabhu.
okay. I will continue. Hare Krishna. Text 27. दिशो विजित्या प्रतिरुद्धा चक्र स्वतेज सो स्वतेज सोत्पातितलोक सत्य सुरासुरेन्द्रैः उपगीयमान महानुभावो भविता पतिर्भुव. Synonyms. Disha, all directions. Vijitya, conquering. Apratiruddha, without check. Chakra, his influence or power. Swateja, Tejasa, by his own prowess. Utpatita, uprooted. Loka Salaya, the miseries of the citizens. Sura, of demigods. Asura, of demons. Indra, by the chiefs. Upagiyamana, being glorified. Maha Anubhava, the great soul. Bhavita, he will become Pati, the Lord, mover of the world. Translation: no one will be able to disobey the orders of Prithu Maharaj. After conquering the world, he will completely eradicate the threefold miseries of the citizens. Then he will be recognized all over the world. At that time, both the Asuras and the Suras will undoubtedly glorify his magnanimous activities. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At the time of Maharaj Prithu, the world was ruled by one emperor, although there were many subordinate states. Just as there are many United States in various parts of the world. In olden days, the entire world was ruled through many states, but there was a supreme emperor who ruled over all subsidiary states. As soon as there were some discrepancies in the maintenance of the Varnashrama system, the emperor would immediately take charge of the small states. The word Utpatita Loka Salya indicates that Maharaj Prithu completely uprooted all the miseries of his citizens. The word Shalya means piercing thorns. There are many kinds of miserable thorns that pierce the citizens of a state, but all competent rulers, even up to the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, uprooted all the miserable conditions of the citizens. It is stated that during the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, there did not even exist severe cold or scorching heat, nor did the citizens suffer from any kind of mental anxiety. This is the standard of good government. Such a peaceful and prosperous government devoid of anxiety was established by Prithu Maharaj. Thus, the inhabitants of both saintly and demoniac planets were all engaged in glorifying the activities of Maharaj Prithu. Persons or nations anxious to spread their influence all over the world should consider this point. If one is able to eradicate completely the threefold miseries of the citizens, he should aspire to rule the world. One should not aspire to rule for any political or diplomatic consideration. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 4th Canto, 16th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Praise of King Prithu by the Professional Reciters. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Go. Will you continue, Prabhu?
Yes, chapter 17. Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the sun. Oh. Text 1. Maitra Uvacha. एवं स भगवान् वैन्य ख्यापितो गुणकर्मभिः चन्दयाम् आशतान् कामये प्रतिपूज्याभिनन्द्य च. Synonyms. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Evam. Thus. Sa. He. Bhagavan. The personality of Godhead. Vainya. In the form of the son of King Vena. Khyapita. Being glorified. Guna karma bhi. By qualities and factual activities. Chandayam Asha. Pacified. Tan. Those reciters. Kamai. By various presentations. Pratipujya. Offering all respects. Abhinandya. Offering prayers. Sure. Also. So this conversation is between Maitreya Rishi and Uddhava, right? No, sorry. Maitreya Rishi and who else? I don't recall exactly.
Vidur.
Vidura,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
correct. Vidura and Maitreya Rishi. Yeah. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. In this way, the reciters who were glorifying Maharaj Prithu readily described his qualities and chivalrous activities. At the end, Maharaj Prithu offered them various presentations with all due respect and worshipped them adequately. Text 2. ब्राह्मण प्रमुखान् वर्णान् भृत्या मात्य पुरोदश पौराञ्जानपदान् श्रेणी प्रकृति समपूजयत्. Synonyms: Brahmana Pramukhan, onto the leaders of the Brahmana community. Varnan, to the other castes. Bhritya, servants. Amatya, ministers. Purodasha, to the priests. Pauran, to the citizens. Jana Padan, to his countrymen. Shreni, to different communities. Prakriti, to the admirers. Samapujayat, he gave proper respects. Translation: King Prithu thus satisfied and offered all respect to the leaders of the Brahmanas and other castes, to his servants, to his ministers, to the priests, citizens, general countrymen, people from other communities, admirers, as well as others. And thus they all became happy. Text 3. विदुरोवाच कस्माद्दधार गोरूपं धरित्री बहुरूपिणी यां दुदोथ पृथुस्तत्र को वस्तो दोहनं च किम्. Synonyms: Vidura Uvacha, Vidura inquired, Kasmat, why, the Dhara took Gorupam, the shape of a cow, Dharitri, the earth, Bahurupini, who has many forms, many other forms, Yam, whom, Dudoha, milked, Prithu, King Prithu, Tatra, there, Ka, who, Vatsa, the calf, Dohanam, milking the milking pot, Cha, also, came pot. Translation: Vidura inquired from great sage Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, since Mother Earth can appear in different shapes, why did she take the shape of a cow? And when King Prithu milked her, who became the calf? And what was the milking pot? Text 4. प्रकृत्या विषमादेवी कृता तेन समाकथं तस्य मेध्यं हयं देव कस्य हेतुरपाहरत्. Synonyms: Apakritya, by nature, Vishama, not level, Devi, the earth, Krita, was made, Tena, by him, Sama, level, Katham, how, Tasya, his Medhayam, meant for offering in the sacrifice, Hayam, horse, Deva, the demigod Indra, Kasya, for what, Hetu, reason, Apaharat, stole. Translation: the surface of the earth is by nature low in some places and high in others. How did King Prithu level the surface of the earth? And why did the king of heaven, Indra, steal the horse meant for the sacrifice? Text 5. Sanat Kumarat Bhagavato Brahman Brahmavid Uttamat Labdhva Jnanam Savijnanam Rajarshi Kamgatim Gata. Synonyms: Sanat Kumarat, from Sanat Kumara, Bhagavatah, the most powerful Brahman, my dear Brahmana. Brahmavid Uttamat, well versed in the Vedic knowledge. Labdhva, after achieving. Jnanam, knowledge. Sa Vijnanam, for practical application. Rajarishi, the great saintly king. Kam, which Gatim, destination. Gatha, achieved. Translation: the great saintly king Maharaj Prithu received knowledge from Sanat Kumara, who was the greatest Vedic scholar. After receiving knowledge to be applied practically in his life, how did the saintly king attain his desired destination? Purport: there are 4 Vaishnava Sampradaya systems of disciplic succession. One Sampradaya comes from the Lord Brahma, one from the goddess of fortune, one from the Kumaras headed by Sanat Kumara, and one from Lord Shiva. These 4 systems of disciplic succession are still going on. As King Prithu has illustrated, one who is serious to receive transcendental Vedic knowledge must accept a guru or spiritual master in one of these 4 disciplic successions. It is said that unless one accepts a mantra from one of these sampradayas, the so-called mantra will not act in Kali Yuga. Yeah. So the verse is संप्रदाय विहीनाय मंत्रास्ते nishvalamata ato kalu bhavishanti chatwara sampradayani. So in Kali Yuga, only these 4 Vaishnava sampradayas are authorized
Yes.
to take initiation from. Yeah. Many sampradayas have sprung up without authority, and they are misleading the people by giving unauthorized mantras. And also, like one more point to remember, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, so all those sampradayas, they were there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu concluded all the teachings of all the 4 sampradayas and concluded and gave the Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva. So after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the bona fide sampradaya is Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya only, the one which is coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it came down to Srila Prabhupada. So it is, the narrowed very. So it should be the spiritual master should be from the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Priyajana.
So Sami Prabhu scroll down, you have not scrolled.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Okay, I will continue. Many sampradayas have sprung up without authority, and they are misleading the people by giving unauthorized mantras. The rascals of these so-called sampradayas do not observe the Vedic rules and regulations. Although they are addicted to all kinds of sinful activities, they still offer the people mantras and thus mislead them. Intelligent persons, however, know that such mantras will never be successful, and as such, they never patronize such upstart spiritual groups. People should be very careful to these nonsensical sampradayas to get some facility for sense gratification. Unfortunately, people in this age receive mantras from the so-called sampradayas. Prithu Maharaj, however, showed by his example that one should receive knowledge from a bona fide sampradaya. Therefore, Maharaj Prithu accepted Sanat Kumara as his spiritual master. Text 6 and 7. यच्चान्यदपि कृष्णस्य भवान् भगवतः प्रभो श्रव शुश्रव श पुण्यं कुर्वदेह कथाश्रयं भक्ताय मे नुरक्ताय तव चादोक्षजस्य च. Can you go down, Prabhu? वक्तुम् अर्हसि यो वक्तुम् अर्हसि यो दुह्यात् वैन्यरूपेण गम्यमाम्. Synonyms: yat, which, cha, and anyat, other, api, certainly, krishnasya, of Krishna, bhavan, your good self, bhagavata, of the supreme personality of Godhead, prabho, powerful, shrava, glorious activities, sushravasya, who is very pleasing to hear about, punyam, pious, purvadeha, of his previous incarnation, katha ashrayam, connected with the narration, bhaktaya, unto the devotee, may, to me, Anuraktaya, very much attentive, Tava, of yourself, Cha, and Adokshajasya, of the Lord, who is well known as Adokshaja, Cha, also, Vaktum, Arhasi, please narrate, Ya, one who, Advayat, milked, Vanya Rupena, in the form of the son of King Vena, Gam, cow, earth, Imam, this. Translation: Prithu Maharaj was a powerful incarnation of Lord Krishna's potencies. Consequently, any narration concerning to his activities is surely very pleasing to hear, and it produces all good fortune. As far as I am concerned, I am always your devotee as well as a devotee of the Lord, who is known as Adhokshaja. Please therefore narrate all the stories of King Prithu, who, in the form of the son of King Vena, made the cow-shaped earth. Purport: Lord Krishna is also known as Avatari, which means one from whom all the incarnations emanate. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Thus, Lord Krishna is the origin of everyone's appearance. As far as this material world is concerned, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva are the emanations from Krishna. These three incarnations of Krishna are called Gunavataras. The material world is governed by three material modes of nature, and Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva respectively take charge of the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Maharaj Prithu is also an incarnation of those qualities of Lord Krishna, by which one rules over. Can you go down? By which one rules over the conditioned soul. In these words, the word adokshaja means beyond the perception of the material senses. Is very significant. No one can perceive the supreme personality of Godhead by mental speculation. Therefore, a person with poor fund of knowledge cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead. Can you please go down? Since one can only form an impersonal idea of the strength of one's material senses, the Lord is known as Adokshaja. Text 8. Suta Uvacha. Chodito vidurena evam Vasudeva katham prati prasyasya tam pritamana maitra pratyahashata maitreya pratyabhashata. Synonym. Suta Uvacha. Suta Goswami said, Chodita inspired Vidurena by Vidura evam thus Vasudeva of Lord Krishna Katham narration Prati about Prasasya praising Tam him Pritamana being very pleased Maitreya the saint Maitreya Pratyabhashata replied. Translation. Suta Goswami continued. When Vidura became inspired to hear of the activities of Lord Krishna in his various incarnations, Maitreya also being inspired and being very pleased with Vidura began to praise him. Then Maitreya spoke as follows. Purport. Talk of Krishna Katha or topics about Krishna or his incarnations is so spiritually inspiring that the reciter and hearer are never exhausted. That is the nature of spiritual talks. We have actually seen that one can never become satisfied by hearing the conversations between Vidura and Maitreya. Both of them are devotees. And the more Vidura inquires, the more Maitreya is encouraged to speak. A symptom of spiritual talk is that no one feels tired. Thus, upon hearing the questions of Vidura, the great sage Maitreya did not feel disgusted, but rather felt encouraged to speak at greater length. Text 9. Maitreya Uvacha. Yadabhishikta Prithuranga Viprair आमंत्रितो जनता यश्चपाला प्रजा निरन्ने क्षितिपृष्ठ एत्या क्षुत्क्षामदेह पतिमभ्यवोचन. Synonyms. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya said, Yada when Abhikshita as enthroned Prithu, King Prithu, Anga, my dear Vidura, Vipray by the Brahmanas, Amantrita was declared, Janataya of the people, Cha also, Pala the protector, Praja the citizens, Niranne being without food, grains, Kshiti Prishthe the surface of the globe, Etya coming near, Shud by hunger, Kshama skinny, Deha their bodies, Patim to the protector, Abhyavochan they said. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, at the time of King Prithu was enthroned by the great sages and Brahmanas and declared to be the protector of the citizens, there was a scarcity of food grains. The citizens actually became skinny due to starvation. Therefore, they came before the king and informed him of their real situation. Purport. Information is given herein concerning the selection of the king by the Brahmanas. According to the Varnashram system, the Brahmanas are considered to be the heads of the society and therefore to be situated in the topmost social position. The Varnashram Dharma, the institution of 4 Varnas and 4 Ashrama, is very scientifically designed. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Varnashram Dharma is not a man-made institution, but is God-made. In this narration, it is clearly indicated that the Brahmanas used to control the royal power. Then an evil king like Vena ruled. The Brahmanas would kill him through their Brahmanical powers and would select a proper ruler by testing his qualifications. In other words, the Brahmanas, the intelligent men or great sages, would control the monarchical powers. Here we have an indication of how the Brahmanas elected King Prithu to the throne as the protector of the citizens. The citizens, being skinny due to hunger, approached the king and informed him that necessary action should be taken. The structure of the Varnashram Dharma was so nice that the Brahmanas would guide the head of a state. The head of the state would then give protection to the citizens. The Kshatriyas would take charge of protecting the people in general, and under the protection of the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas would protect the cows, produce food grains, and distribute them. Shudras, the working class, would help the higher 3 classes by manual labor. This is the perfect social system. Text 10 and 11. वयं वयं राजन् जातरेणाभितप्ता यथा दिनाकोत्रस्थेन वृक्षा त्वामद्य यात शरणं शरण्यं यसादितो वृत्तिकरपतिर्न तन्नो भवान् तन्नो भवान् इह तुरवते अनीनं शुद्धा रिधाता नम नरदेव देव यावन्ननं क्ष्यामः उज्जितो तोर्जा वार्तापतिस्त्वं किदलोकपाल. Synonyms. Vayam, we, Rajan, O king. Jathrena, by the fire of hunger. Abhitapta, very much aggrieved. Yatha, just as. Agnina, by the fire. Kotarasthrena, in the hollow of a tree. Vriksha, trees. Tvam, onto you. Adya, today. Yatha, we have come. Sharanam, shelter. Sharanyam, worth taking shelter of. Yah, who. Sadhita, appointed. Vrittikara, one who gives employment. Pati, master. Na, our. Tad, therefore, na, to us. Bhavan, your majesty. Itho, please try. Ravate, to give. Annam, food grains. Shudha, with hunger. Ardhitanam, suffering. Naradeva Deva, O supreme master of all kings. Yavatna, list. Nankshamhe, we will perish. Ujjita, being bereft of. Urja, food grains. Vartha, of occupational engagements. Pati, bestower. Tvam, you. Kila, indeed. Lokapala, the protector of the citizens. Translation. Dear king, just as a tree with a fire burning in the hollow of a trunk gradually dries up, we are drying up due to the fire of hunger in our stomach. You are the protector of surrendered souls, and you have been appointed to give employment to us. Therefore, we have all come to you for protection. You are not only a king, but the incarnation of God as well. Indeed, you are the king of all kings. You can give us all kinds of occupational engagements, for you are the master of our livelihood. Therefore, O king of all kings, please arrange to satisfy our hunger by the proper distribution of food grains. Please take care of us, lest we soon die for want of food. Purport. It is the duty of the king to see that everyone in the social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras, is fully employed in the state. Just as it is the duty of the Brahmana to elect a proper king, it is the duty of the king to see that all the Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras, are fully engaged in their respective occupational duties. It is here indicated that although the people were allowed to perform their duties, they were still unemployed. Although they were not lazy, they still could not produce sufficient food to satisfy their hunger. When the people are perplexed in this way, they should approach the head of government, and the president or king should take immediate action to mitigate the distress of the people. Text 12. मैत्रेयवाच पृथु प्रजानां करुणं निशम्य परदेवितं दीर्घं दध्यौ कुरुक्षेत्र निमित्तं सो अनुपद्यत. Synonyms. Maitreya said, the great saint Maitreya said, Prithu, King Prithu, Prajanam of the citizens, Karunam, pitiable condition, Nishamya, hearing, Paridevitam, lamentation, Dirgham, for a long time, Tadhav, contemplated, Kurukshetra, O Vidura Nimittam, the cause, Sa, he, Anvapadyata, found out. Translation. After hearing this lamentation and seeing the pitiable condition of the citizens, King Prithu contemplated this matter for a long time to see if he could find out the underlying causes. Text 13. Iti vyavastito buddhya pragrita sarasana sandade vishikam bhume kruddastri purahayatha. Synonyms. Iti, thus, Vyavasthita, having arrived at the conclusion, Buddhya, by intelligence, Pragrita, by having taken up, Sarasana, the bow, Sandhate, fixed, Vishikham, an arrow, Bhume, at the earth, Kruddha, angry, Tripuraha, Lord Shiva, Yatha, like. Translation. Having arrived at a conclusion, the king took up his bow and arrow and aimed them at the earth, exactly as Lord Shiva destroyed the whole world out of anger. But King Prithu found out that the cause for the scarcity of food grains. Can you go down to? He could understand that it was not the people's fault, but they were not lazy in executing their duties. Rather, the earth was not producing sufficient food grains. This indicates that the earth can produce sufficiently if everything is properly arranged. But sometimes the earth can refuse to produce food grains for various reasons. The theory that there is a scarcity of food grains due to an increase of population is not a very sound theory. There are other causes that enable the earth to produce profusely or to stop producing. King Prithu found out the proper causes and took the necessary steps immediately. Text 14. Pravepamana dharani nishamyo dayudham chatam gausat apadravad bhita mrigiva mrigaudhrita. Synonyms. Pravepamana, trembling, dharani, the earth, nishamya, seeing, udayo, tham, having taken his bow and arrow, cha, also, tham, the king, gau, a cow, sati, becoming, apadravat, began to flee, bhita, very much afraid, mrigi eva, like a deer, mriga, by a hunter, Shruta, being followed. Translation. When the earth saw that King Prithu was taking his bow and arrow to kill her. She became very much afraid and began to tremble. She then began to flee, exactly as a deer which runs very swiftly when followed by a hunter. Being afraid of King Prithu, she took the shape of a cow and began to run. Purport,
Hare-
just as a mother. Yes, Lebampu. You want to read
Okay.
next?
Yes, Prabhu. I just wanted to read for 15 minutes, just offer. So I just wanted to read a little
Yes,
bit
Prabhu.
now. Can I
Let me
continue now?
finish.
Okay.
Now you want? Okay, you can continue. Yes, from Purport. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu. Purport: just as a mother produces various children, both male and female, the womb of Mother Earth produces all kinds of living entities in various shapes. Thus, it is possible for Mother Earth to take on innumerable shapes. At this time, in order to avoid the wrath of King Prithu, she took the shape of a cow. Since a cow is never to be killed, Mother Earth thought it was wise to take the shape of a cow. In order to avoid King Prithu's arrows. King Prithu, however, could understand this fact, and therefore he did not stop chasing the cow shape. Shaped earth. And go down, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Lebampu, you are on mute, I think.
We can't hear.
Anyone else wants to read?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes.
I can start with the verse, Prabhu. No, the 15th one. अन्वधावत् तद्वैन्यः कुपितोऽत्यारुणीक्षणः शारन्धानुशिसन्धाय यत्र यत्र पल्यते. Synonyms: the cow-shaped earth. Anvadhavat, he chased. Tat, then. Vainya, the son of King Vena. Ku, Kupita, being very much angry. Ati, Aruna, very red. Ikshana, his eyes. Sharam, an arrow. Dhanushi, on the bow. Sandhaya, placing yatra yatra, wherever. Palayate, she flees. Translation: purport by Ajahn Prasesi Bhaktadan Samshir Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: saying this, Maharaj Prithu became very angry, and his eyes became as red as the early morning sun. Placing an arrow on his bow, he chased the cow-shaped earth wherever she would run. Text 16. Svidisho Vidisho Devi Rodashi Chantaram Tayo Dhavanti Tatrainam Tatarshanyutyayudam. Sa, the cow-shaped earth. Disha, in four directions. Vidisha, ran dumbly in other directions. Devi, the goddess. Rodasi, toward heaven and earth. Cha, also. Antaram, between. Tayo, them. Dhavanti, fleeing. Tatra, here and there. Enam, the king. Dadarsha, she saw. Anu, behind. Udyata, taken up. Ayudham, his weapons. Translation: the cow-shaped earth ran here and there in outer space between heavenly planets and the earth, and wherever she ran, the king chased her with his bow and arrows. Text 17. लोके लोके नैविन्दता त्राणं वैन्यान्वितोरिव प्रजा त्रस्ततदा निवर्वृते हृदयेन विदूयता loka within the three worlds. Not Avindata could obtain Tranam release Vainyat from the hand of the son of King Vena. Mrityu from death. Iva like Praja Mantrasta being very much afraid. Tada at the time. Nivar Nivavrite turned back. Hridayena within her heart. Vidyuyata very much aggrieved. Translation: just as a man cannot escape the cruel hands of death, the cow-shaped earth could not escape the hands of the son of King Vena. At length the earth, fearful, her heart aggrieved, turned back in helplessness. Text reading: उवाच च महाभागं धर्मज्ञापन्नवत्सला त्राहि माम् अपि भूतानां पालने वस्थितो भवान्. Uvacha, she said, Cha and Mahabhagam, unto the great fortunate king, Dharmajna, a knower of the principles of religion, Apannavatsata, O shelter of the surrendered, Trahi, save, Ma me, Api, indeed, Bhutanam, of living entities, Palane, in protection, Avastita, situated, Bhavan, your majesty. Translation: addressing the great opulent King Prithu as the knower of religious principles and shelter of the surrendered, she said, Please save me. You are the protector of all living entities. Now you are situated as the king of this planet. Purport: the cow-shaped earth addressed King Prithu as Dharmagna, which refers to one who knows the principles of religion. The principles of religion dictate that a woman, a cow, a child, a brahmana, and an old man must be given all protection by the king or anyone else. Consequently, Mother Earth took the shape of a cow. She was also a woman. Thus, she appeared to the king as one who knows the principles of religion. Religious principles also dictate that one is not to be killed if he surrenders. She reminded King Prithu that not only was he an incarnation of God, but he was situated as the king of earth as well. Therefore, his duty was to excuse her. Text 19. Satvam jignasashi kashmat dinam akritakilvisham अहन्निष्यत् कथं योषं धर्मज्ञ इति यो mata saha, that very person tvam you jighamsase want to kill, kasmat, why, deenam poor, akrita, without having done, kilbisham, any sinful activities, ahanishyat, with would kill, katham, how, yosham, a woman, dharmagnya, the knower of religious principles, iti, thus, yaha, one who, mata, is considered. Translation: the cow-shaped earth continued to appeal the king. I am very poor, and have not committed any sinful activities. I do not know why you want to kill me, since you are supposed to be the knower of all religious principles. Why are you so envious of me, and why are you so anxious to kill a woman? Purport: the earth appealed to the king in two ways. A king who knows religious principles cannot kill anyone who has not committed sinful activities. Apart from this, a woman is not to be killed, even if she does commit some sinful activities. Since the earth was innocent and was also a woman, the king should not kill her. Text 20. Praharanti navai streshu कृतघ्नश्व अपि चन्तवा किम् उतात्वत् विदा राजन् कारुणादीनवत्सला praharanti strike never. Why certainly streshu women krita agashu having committed sinful activities api although jantava human beings kim uta then what to speak of Tvat Vidha, personalities like you, Rajan, O King, Karuna, merciful, Deenavatsala, affectionate to the poor. Translation. Even if a woman does commit some sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. And what to speak of you, dear King, who are so merciful, you are protector, and you are affectionate to the poor. Text 21. Mam vipatya जरां नावं यत्र विश्वं प्रतिष्ठितम् आत्मानं च प्रजस्येम कथाम् अम्बसि दर्शसि me vipatya breaking to pieces ajaram very strong navam boat yatra where vishwam all worldly paraphernalia pratishthitam standing atmanam yourself cha and praja your subjects cha also ima all these katham how ambasi in the water dashasi you will hold. Translation. The cow-shaped earth continued, my dear king, I am just like a strong boat, and all the paraphernalia of the world is standing upon me. If you break me to pieces, how can you protect yourself and your subjects from drowning? Purport. Beneath the entire planetary system is the Garbhavatar. Lord Vishnu lies on this Garbhavatar, and from his abdomen a lotus stem grows, and all the planets within the universe are floating in the air, being supported by this lotus stem. If a planet is destroyed, it must fall into the water of Garbha. The earth therefore warned King Prithu that he could gain nothing by destroying her. Indeed, how would he protect himself and his citizens from drowning in the Garbha water? In other words, the outer space may be compared to an ocean of air, and each and every planet is floating on it, just as a boat or islands float on the ocean. Sometimes planets are called dvipa or islands, and sometimes they are called boats. Thus, the cosmic manifestation is partially explained in this reference by the cow-shaped earth. Thank you, Prabhu. I think Lebang Prabhu wants to continue.
Ribol, thank you so much, Prabhu. Telbang Prabhu, you can read next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Oh, yeah, can I read, Prabhu? Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu. You can read.
Okay, Prabhu. Prithu uvacha vasude tvam vadishyami mak chasana parana mukim bagam bareshi ya vrinkete nata noti cha no vasu. Synonyms. Prithu uvacha. King Prithu replied, the vasu de, my dear earthly planet, Twam, you, Vadishyami, I shall kill, Mat, my, Shasana, rulings, Parak, Mukim, disobedient to Bagam, your share, Barishi, in the Yagna, Yahu, Vrinkite, Vrinkite, accepts, not Tanoti does deliver, Cha and Naha to us, Vasu produce. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. King Prithu replied to the earthly planet, "My dear Earth, you have disobeyed my orders and rulings. In the form of a demigod, you accepted your share of the yajnas we performed, but in return, you have not produced sufficient food grains. For this reason, I must kill you." Very interesting. It's like they used to live, Prabhu. The demigods.
They used to what, Prabhu?
It's like they used to live as if like us, you know. It's like,
Yes,
yeah,
Prabhu, they live today also. They live
where,
on their
Prabhu?
own planet. They live on
Oh,
their
on
own
their own
planet.
planet.
Yes, Prabhu.
So it's like they're doing multitasking, Prabhu. It's like they live in their own planet and then yet still they're ruling a planet. Is it something like that?
Yes, Prabhu, like the Trump man, he's living in America, but he's trying to rule it also.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. It's like, is it this above the above loka? Is it Buloka? Buvarloka? Something like Buvarloka. Is it that planet there where we can find demigods? It's just a slight planet above us.
Yes, Prabhu, all the above planets, but there's ghostly planets also.
In the above planet.
Yes, Prabhu, 800 miles above Earth, there's a ghostly planet.
Oh, yes. So meaning they vibrate higher than us. Something like that.
Yes, Prabhu, when there is the sun comes, the daytime comes, usually the ghost goes to their planet.
Oh, instead of being with us. Oh, it's like they're
Yes,
hiding
Prabhu.
from the sun god.
Yeah, they hate the sun.
Oh, they only usually use the moon, right?
Yeah, when the darkness comes, they usually return here and people go to the bars and then they go to see and watch what they do.
Oh, yes, bro. Makes sense. Purport. The cow-shaped earthly planet submitted that she was not only a woman, but was innocent and sinless as well. Thus, she argued that she should not be killed. Besides, she pointed out that being perfectly religious minded, the king could not violate the religious principles that forbade killing a woman. In reply, Maharaj Prithu informed her that, first of all, she had disobeyed his orders. This was her first sinful activity. Secondly, he accused. It's like judgment day for the planets, the sun, the planets, what do you call them? The owners of the planets. It's like judgment day for them.
Yes, Prabhu.
Accused her of taking her share in the yajna sacrifice but not producing sufficient. It's like these president prabhus, you know, it's like they eat the state has money and then as the money comes down, you know, they share the money amongst themselves and then they leave the community services and everything, you know. It's like as if like the Earth planet got a lot of what can you say, maybe rewards from the yajna and then failed to give. It's like you wanted to take more but keep more than giving more.
Yes, Prabhu, she's not producing grains. That's
She's
not good.
producing. Sorry, Prabhu.
She's not producing grains.
What is he producing, Prabhu?
She's not doing anything. That's why King Prithu was so angry.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Oh, I thought he was actually producing less.
Yes, Prabhu, almost nothing.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Secondly, he accused her of taking her share in the yajna sacrifice, but not producing. Was I done with that one?
Yes,
but
Prabhu.
not producing sufficient food grains in return. Yavasam jagdi anudinam naiva dogdi audasam payaha tasyam evahi dushtayam dando natra na shashyate. Synonyms: Yavasam, green grass; jagdi, you eat; anudinam, daily; na, never; ever, certainly; dogdi, you yield; audasam, in the milk bag. Payaha milk tasyam, when a cow, evam tas he certainly dushtayam, being offensive, dandaha punishment, na not atra here, na not shash siate is advisable. Translation: although you are eating green grass every day, you are not filling your milk bag, so we can utilize your milk. Since you are willfully committing offenses, it cannot be said that you are not punishable due to your assuming the form of a cow. Oh, it's that, like, it became a drought, ne, Prabhu? Isn't it when Earth was facing like a drought? When people were becoming skinny, or where did I hear that? I think you read
Yes,
it
Prabhu.
just in. Oh, yes,
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 Prabhu.
Prabhu. Which chapter is this? Like, I want to go reread just this chapter.
Henry, Maharaj Putub is in 16. 4:16.
16:4, Canto 4,
Yes, Prabhu.
verse 16. Oh, chapter 16. Is it chapter?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, bro.
Chapter 17.
Oh, is it? Yeah, 17. Sorry. We just
Okay,
changed
yes,
the
yes, bro. 17. Purport: a cow eats green grasses in the pasture and fills her milk bag with sufficient milk so that the cowherdmans can milk her. Yagna's sacrifice are performed to produce sufficient clouds that will pour water over the earth. The word payaha can refer both to milk and to water. As one of the demigods, the earthly planets, was taking her share in the yagnas. That is, she was eating green grass, but in return she was not producing sufficient food grains. That is, she was not filling her milk bag. Prithu Maharaj was therefore justified in threatening to punish her for her offense. Twam Kalav.
One more, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Twam
Yes,
Kalav
Prabhu.
Oshadi Bijani Prakshashtani Svayambhuva Na muchasi atmaruddani mam avagyaya manda dihi. Synonyms: Tvam, you, Kalau, certainly, O Shadi, of herbs, plants, and grains. Bijani, the seeds. Prak, formerly. Shashtani, created. Svayambhuva, by Lord Brahma. Na, do not. Muchasi, deliver. Atma Rudani, hidden within yourself. Mam, me, Avyagyaya. Is it Avyagyaya? Disobeying. Manda Dihi, less intelligent. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Isabhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. You have so lost your intelligence that despite my orders, you do not deliver the seeds of herbs and grains formerly created by Brahma, now hidden within yourself. So, Prabhu, we never started this greediness thing. First of all, it was never started by us, eh? So it's like we are just imitating those who are higher than us. Purport: while creating all the planets in the universe, Lord Brahma also created the seeds of various grains, herbs, plants, and trees. When sufficient water falls from the clouds, the seed fructifies and produces fruits, grains, vegetables, etc. By his example, Prithu Maharaj indicates that whenever there is a scarcity in food production, the head of the government should take steps to see why production is being held up and what should be done to rectify the situation. Interesting. Or should I go again? Amusham Kshut, is it Kshut? Paritanam Artanam Paridevitam Shamyishami Madbani Bi, Binayas, Tava, Medasa, Medasa, Tava, 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 Synonyms: amusham, of all of them. Kshudu, paritanam, suffering from hunger. Artanam, of the distressed. Paridevitam, the lamentation. Shama shami, I shall pacify. Mat banahi, by my arrows. Binayaha, being cut into pieces. Tava, of you. Medasa, by the flesh. Translation: Now with the help of my arrows, I shall cut you to pieces, and with your flesh satisfy the hunger-stricken citizens who are now crying for want of grains. Thus I shall satisfy the crying citizens of my kingdom. Purport: Here we find some indication how the government can arrange for the eating of cow flesh. It is here indicated that there is a rare circumstance when there is no supply of grains. The government may sanction the eating of meat. However, when there is sufficient food, the government should not allow the eating of cow's flesh just to satisfy their fastidious tongue. In other words, in rare circumstances when people are suffering from want of grains, meat eating or flesh eating can be allowed, but not otherwise. The maintenance of slaughterhouses for the satisfaction of the tongue and the killing of animals unnecessarily should never be sanctioned by a government. As described in the previous verse, animals or cows should be given sufficient grass to eat. If despite a sufficient supply of grass, a cow does not supply milk and there is an acute shortage of food, the dried up cow may be utilized to feed the hungry masses of people according to the law of necessity. First of all, human society must try to produce food grains and vegetables, but if they fail in this, they can indulge in flesh eating, otherwise not. As human society is presently structured, there is sufficient production. Can go down, bro. Production of grains all over the world. Therefore, the opening of slaughterhouses cannot be supported in some nations. There is so much surplus grains that sometimes extra grains is thrown into the sea, and sometimes the government forbids further production of grain. The conclusion is that the earth produces sufficient grain to feed the entire population, but the distribution of this grain is restricted due to trade regulations and a desire for profit. Consequently, in some places there is scarcity of grain, in others profuse production. If there were one government, one on the surface of the earth, to handle the distribution of grain, there would be no question of scarcity, no necessity to open slaughterhouses, and no need to present false theories about overpopulation. Bill Gates. Was that the last one, Haribo?
Haribo, yes, bro. Yes, bro. Oh, now he's going to distribute the earth.
With the meaning is going to offer the what do you call the goddess of earth.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. I wonder
What is happening?
how large is she? Or big? How massive is he? How huge?
Now she's a cow. Oh, we're at 25. Let's see.
Yeah, she turned into a cow.
But who said? Oh, okay, Haribo. Tomorrow we continue from this part.
Haribo. Cheto. Should I start?
Yes, bro.
Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam shreya kaivachandrika vitaranam vitya vadu jivanam anandam burdevardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vichayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नाम्ना मकारि बहुधानि च सर्वचस्ते तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालाये तादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशं हयजनीननुग्रह
Twinarapi sunichana taro api sahishnuna amanina manadana kirtaniya sada hari.
नदनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भगवद्भक्तरे त्वयि
Ainanda tanuja kinkaram batitam mam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankaja stitaduli satrasham vichintaya.
नयनं गलदाश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरापुलकर्णचन्दं वपुकदा तव नामग्रहणे भविष्यति
Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name.
आश्लिष्यवापादरतं पिनस्तु मामदर्शननरमरमहतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विददातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्य सेवनापरः
Haribu. Glories to the Shri. Glories to the Shri. Glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and those you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda in these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental languages. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your positive devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal savior, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda. Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. This is Shastakam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu ki jai, Dhai Gaur
Yeah.
Premanand.
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Very good.
Hari Bol.
Bahu Janmaya. Bahu Janma Kare Yada Yadi Shravana Kirtana Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or thinking him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in the pursuance with the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some mundane interpretation of the play.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna is to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities in the like auspicious ritualistic activities offered in Vedas and spiritual practice in Uganda.
Ninth offense, to instruct a faithless persons about the glories of their holy name.
Tenth offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill all desires of everyone, just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls.
Panchakल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
विष्णुभ्यो नमो
Ananta
नमः।
Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
जय
Namaste ki jai.
ठाकुर की
जय
जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Gaur
जय।
Brahmanandi
जय
Hari Hari Bol.
हरि हरि
हरि हरि
बोल।
बोल।